So the first question I got here was basically, how do we catch up and keep up with the trends of social media? Social media, why social media is so important today? Because today in Malaysia itself, there are 22 million people in Malaysia itself are active social media users in Facebook. 22 million. And we have, in Malaysia, we have about 33 million people. So if you look at this, 22 over 33 million people, that's actually that's a large percentage of people who are active in Facebook. So what it means is that it becomes a very good marketing platform to reach out to people. Especially Facebook is a social media that knows you better than you know yourself. He knows you more than your parents, more than your best friend. All right? Yeah. So it's a very, very, very powerful marketing platform, and especially when we do the projects that you are doing, for example, the clean your plate projects. There's a lot of educations that you need to do to the public. You can actually segmentize, you can categorize who do you want to talk to, who do you want to educate. So it's very important to keep up, with the evolution of social media, because social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, what else we have, LinkedIn, they keep on improving their algorithm. So algorithm is basically a code that basically manages the interaction between one individuals to another individuals, and looking in terms of what their behavior in social media itself. So it changes all the time, and as you can see, most of the time 87% of people who actually access their Facebook tends to actually use their phone, right? So they download the Facebook app, and you can see that in your Facebook app, the real estate, the screen size is actually very narrow. It's just only one track, right? So even if you have a Facebook page, for example, so okay, let me just close this. So just let me just go to Facebook here. Okay, Facebook here. Okay, so it's clean out plate. Yeah. It's the first one here, right? I believe. Oh, this is one of the many. Is this the one, Alif?
Yeah, this one is a national page, but we have like a few page for.
Yeah, so you have a few pages, right? Like this, right? Yeah. So the things that what I'm trying to illustrate here is that even though you have like 995 people who follow this, when you do a posting, for example, on your thing here, you don't get a lot of people looking at it, because Facebook actually wants you to boost this post. They want you to promote this post by advertising it, right? So the thing is that it's getting harder and harder to keep up with social media, because I think the main motivation of Mark Zuckerberg is to ask you to spend money, right? So so it's very important that you need to do that. And one of the case study that I actually been working on is a CSR program that I've been running, which is basically workplace at the river, which is this one here, which is I'm basically the admin. I'm the admin of this page here. So if you look at the workplace at the river, okay, this is notification, this is the page. Yeah, so this is basically corporate social responsibility for business community, especially for employees who is working in KL. And the things that every time we run an event or a post, what I'll do is that actually I will boost it, right? If you can just, I want you to draw your attention to this number here, right? So if you look at this here, this was an event that I did like 2 days ago on Thursday night. And if you look at the numbers here, there were only 233 238 people who actually followed this. And we started this Facebook page early in March, all right? Somewhere early in March. Actually not March, January. In January, we created this page in January 30th of January 2020, right? And if we would not have boosted this post here, we wouldn't have gotten 588 views, all right? So this is one of the key points that you need to note, that whenever you create a Facebook page, you know, for whatever cause that you're working on, you need to boost the post, all right? And I start off with very cheap, 25 ringgit, $5 a day. I think if all of us pull up and don't buy the bubble tea, right, I think we can afford an advertising campaign, right? And I think it's good, right? Because you know, bubble tea is very sweet and it's very bad for diabetic, right? Yeah, very bad for sugar level. And since that we are on this is a very noble cause to help people not to waste food, we also want people to take care of their health, right? And what I'm saying here is that collectively, all of you, if you're on the same project, you know, you just can just put in each of you $5, right? And then things that you start to boost your post, because every post that you put in there must drive engagement. For example, if you look at this, this was the one that I actually you know, put on in here. So when I boosted ad, I had 337 engagements, right? 337 engagements. So this is a post detail, right? So normally what I do is that because this event is every Thursday night, you know, every Thursday at 7 p.m., right? And the thing is that what I do is that I normally do like 5 days before a 5 days campaign before the event itself. And you can see, you know, at the peak itself, I had about close to, you know, how many people who actually followed this, right? If you look at this, only 28% of my followers actually click on it. But I have like 1,000 non-followers, right? Who actually do this, who actually are engaged, right, with this post itself, all right? So food for note, very important. Whenever you post something, you want to create publicity, you want to educate the public, and the fastest way to do this, ladies and gentlemen, is what? Is to do a video post, to conduct events like this, because to write an article, to come up with a video explainer, it's going to take time, yeah. And to be honest, right now, after several months of MCO and several months of zooming here, zooming there, everybody is getting very fatigued right now, right? Yeah. So you need, you know, authenticity. That means you need somebody who will be your spokesperson, right? So what I'm saying here is that it is very important, if you believe in the cause that you're doing today, which is clean our plate, you got to be the spokesperson. You cannot be shy, right? And don't worry about if your English or your England is not that good. It doesn't matter. It is speaking from the heart, your conviction, right? And all of us come from you know, from a multi-race background, and I think some of us can speak multi-language. It's great, right? So the thing is that you can create a video which is multilingual, right? And all of you can come together and do this video together, right? And so what I'm saying here, again, social media, to keep up with social media trend, is something that I think, number one, you need to recognize that you need to advertise your posting. That's one, because if you don't, your post will not be seen by your followers. That's one key point. But if you advertise, you will get more non-followers who will basically, right, look at your post. You can see this number here. Statistics don't lie, right? Followers, I have 28%, which is 385. And the thing is that if you look at non-followers, it's 72%. Yeah. So need to advertise. Number 2, do video. Yeah, do video. And then the third one is be authentic, be a spokesperson. All right. This is very key. When you become a spokesperson, you tend to have that authenticity and the realness, and people follow people. People do not follow brands. People do not follow a cause. People are attracted to every one of you, right? And every one of you have a circle of influence, right? If you look at this, I want you to put in the chat room right now, how many friends do you have in Facebook? Can you type in the chat room right now? How many friends do you have in the chat room? 1,002. Yeah, Brian. All right. 600 plus. All right. Can't count. Right. Can't count more than 600. Whoa, 4,352. Wow, amazing, Nuro. Right. Wahan, 400. Marcus, 3,002. Wow. Amazing. Swat Ming, wow, 2,300. Okay, yeah, thank you for this. So there you go. We have just demonstrated that we actually have a circle of influence, right? And we are always separated by a 6 degree of separation. And that's how Facebook, like social media, like Facebook works, right? You reach friends first. You reach your friends, your inner circle friends first. And then secondly, the things that you will then reach friends of friends, right? So Nuro had these questions, but likes and viewers never reach 200. Yeah, and that's the reason why you need to work around the algorithm by first advertising, right? Advertising your post. So and as I mentioned earlier, 5 ringgit a day is actually affordable, and especially if you do this together, right? So in fact, I will encourage you to do at least a minimum of 2 weeks campaign. Minimum of 2 weeks campaign. Because when you do a 2 weeks campaign, your reach, your cost to reach 1,000 people will be half. So I give you 2 scenarios. So you have 25 ringgit, which you advertise over 5 days. So the cost to reach that 1,000 people, say it's, I'm just making this up, 2 ringgit. Cost to reach 1,000 people, 2 ringgit, right? If you were to extend your campaign from 5 days to 10 days, what happens is that that means it is 25. It's 25 ringgit for each 5 days, so it's 50 ringgit. But what it does is that the cost to reach 1,000 people is going to be from 2 ringgit to 1 ringgit. Yeah, so that means you're going to reach more people more effectively. Yeah, so that's a very key point that you need to note, because that's how Facebook works. Okay, so I shared you a couple of tips, right, in terms of how to keep up and catch up with social media. I think more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, you got to learn by yourself, right? And I'm going to give you some resources for you to learn, right? And I'm just going to basically share this deck with you afterwards. Sorry, yeah, just let me do this. Okay. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, how do we keep up with the trends in social media, right? So we got to learn. And I think one of the areas that we can learn, these are the 5 resources that I've given you. One is, Udemy. The other one is Fiverr. The more technical one is actually Smart Insights. This one is actually what I'm introducing you will be blogs of that, right? Blogging. And the other one is that I also write a lot of articles, guides, and I'll explain that later. So let's start off with Udemy first, right? So what is Udemy? So Udemy, basically, if you look in terms of that, they are actually short courses, online courses that is pre-recorded. Like for example, we want to learn about TikTok masterclass, get millions of views on TikTok. learn how to build your social media following, create viral content, get millions of views on the TikTok, right? And this is really updated as of July 2020, right? So there are 50 lectures, and the things that the ratings are really good, 4.6. There were 22 students, and it costs you now in promotion price $18.99 USD, $18.99 USD, right? So $18.99 USD to learn how to a master class in TikTok, right? Only costs you to say 20 ringgit, 20 US dollars times 4, that makes about what, $80, 80 ringgit. All right. So how do you actually would you sacrifice 80 ringgit, in buying in one nice dinner, in a date dinner, right? Yeah. All right. Just don't go out one weekend. And you will learn how to master TikTok, right? So this is the link that I have put into my presentation deck, which I will later on share with y'all in the WhatsApp group. Okay? Yeah. Is everybody okay? Yeah. So Udemy is one of them. So you got to self-learn, because at the end of the day, thanks Nav for the thumbs up. At the end of the day, it's not I think the best way to learn is self-learn, right? Because the internet is a gateway to many things. So as a person who has been in this field for a long time, I do also, the way I keep up is to always keep on learning, right? So first resource is Udemy, right? The second resource is basically Fiverr, right? So Fiverr looks like this. So later on, when you have this slide here, you just got to click on any of these icons to get into the hyperlink to this website. Okay, so Fiverr has this where you can learn anything, right? From marketing to design, branding. You can learn tools like Adobe CC. You can do like storytelling, storyboarding, voiceover. So there's a lot of programs that you can learn from here. I mean, the things that you can browse courses, like for example, digital marketing. If I were to click here, yeah, and you have this, this type of video, right? Which are from what I call people who has been practicing, right? Who's been actually doing social media campaigns. So all these people are practitioners. They are they are not your lecturers. Lecturers do not practice. Okay, don't tell your lecturers that I told you that, huh? Okay, so so the things that you need to learn from people who are practitioners, and these are the people who are practitioners, and things that you can look at this. It's very easy to learn. Okay, just let me.
And I think he might. Seth Godin famously said, content marketing is the only marketing left. And I think he might be right. I mean, think about it. In today's world, content is one of the primary ways that brands connect with customers or potential customers. Whether you're a big brand like Coca-Cola or my favorite yoga studio here in Seattle, I love you guys. If you're involved in social media content strategy, you have an enormous task ahead of you. Creating content that grabs someone's attention and stops them from scrolling endlessly down that feed. More than that, doing it in a way that doesn't require you to be up in the middle of the night writing copy. Because social media never sleeps, but freelancers and small business owners have to, right? In this course, you'll learn how to create content with thumb-stopping power, and to do so in an effective, organized, and efficient way. Why am I the right person to teach you all this stuff? Well, I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Rita Cedre Bartenstein, and I have over 10 years of experience helping brands connect with customers through content. I've held marketing leadership roles in large and small brands, such as Zillow and Qualtrics. I'm also the author of a collection of short stories and the co-producer of an award-winning radio documentary. I run my own e-commerce brand, and I've been named one of the top 50 marketers to follow by Search Engine Journal and HubSpot. I'm also a lead digital marketing instructor at General Assembly. Whoa, that's a lot of stuff. Promise I'll stop reading off my resume right now. The main thing you should know
Okay, so would you invest how much? 42 US dollars or not? Actually, I give you a tip, right? You all could actually pool your money together and just subscribe to one, right? Then after that, pass the login to each other. Right? Yeah. So I think it's so useful, right? And I think one of the things that she mentioned just now, Rita mentioned just now, is that in social media, the most difficult thing to do in social media is not setting up a Facebook page, right? It's actually posting what to say. And to do posting, you need to have a content strategy. So you need to have an editorial calendar that covers over 12 months, right? So every month you have a theme, and within the theme of the month, there is subtopic on a weekly basis and on a daily basis, right? This is how you actually grow your Facebook page following, because people actually wants to look at what any updates that you're doing, what activities they're doing. And for somebody to understand and appreciate your cause, you got to tell them. You got to tell them stories. You know, how much food has been wasted. What is the impact that you have? And one of the good examples that a spokesperson who is actually into a green environment, sustainability, is by the name this teenager girl who actually took a boat right from Europe, I think in Norway, right? Took a boat right up to New York, right? And to bring a message that carbon footprint is actually destroying the earth. And her name is called who? Can anybody put in chat room? Starts with G.
Brother Sunny.
Right. Greta, right? So everyone is, are you aware of Greta movement? If you're aware of it, can you give me a thumbs up? If you are not aware, also never mind, put a thumbs up so that you can tell everyone that you know. Right? Yeah. So it's a Greta movement, right? So if you look at that itself, Greta is a Swedish, actually it's not from Norway, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is Greta itself. And the things that she has not even paid any single money to Facebook, and yet she's in appearing in all the newspapers around the world, the Guardian, right? And he thought about all the different publications online. She was in UN, right? Because she's so convicted about the cause that she's propagating, right? And she will risk her life traveling around half the world, right, to bring the message to the President of United States, Donald Trump. So the question is that would you risk your life to promote the cause that you're doing right now, which is clean our plate? Or are we doing because we want it to be part of our credentials in our CV? Right, you don't have to answer me. But what I'm saying is that if you want to be involved in cause marketing, you got to be convicted in your heart that this is a very important cause. So are you doing that to put a line in your CV, or are you doing that because you really believe that cause? And it will make a difference when you speak on a video, in Facebook. Yeah. So this is something that you got to think about really, really hard. Yeah. Because your audience can feel you when you say something that is from your heart, not from your mind, from your heart. And that's going to be so powerful. Yes, you may not sail and yacht, right, across the ocean, right, and risk your life. But the thing is that you got to demonstrate that So like for example, during the first case in Wuhan during the COVID-19, right? There was this doctor who was basically he believed that this is going to be a pandemic, and he risked his life, right? So if you look at all the frontliners, right? They actually risk their life, and some people are so convicted, right, that they will risk their life to making sure that people are safe. So in this sense that you got to really have this conviction in your heart, right? As opposed to wanting to put it as a line in your CV, right? And then when you do this video, right, say, people, do you know there's so much wastage of food, right? And the impact in terms of the earth, you know, on food wastage is actually, there are many effects. Sorry, I'm not an expert in this subject, right? So, and I wish that, you know, one of you will really tell me, David, do you know this? Do you know that? Do you know what's happening in an impact on the future? And it has to come from you, because I am not going to read an article that you produce. Sorry, boring. I don't read articles. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your conviction from your heart. And this is what you can do as a content strategy in your social media. Whether it's maybe not to use TikTok, because TikTok is not serious, right? You know, TikTok is not serious, and TikTok doesn't have audio, so you don't use TikTok. So you want to do what? Facebook Live, for example, right? Facebook Live, that's very key, because Facebook Live, once you do live, there's a catch up. You know, it's recorded, and it's very good. It's very easy, and the only equipment that you can use is your phone, right? So I think a lot of times we all underutilize our phone. We only use it for our own purposes. Why not use our phone for the cause that we are promoting? Okay, everyone? All right. So let me come back to this one here, which is here. So I encourage you to go to Udemy and Fiverr to understand and keep up with the social media trend. There's also this insights here, like smart insights. Okay. Yeah. So the link's not here. Let me type in over here. Smart insight blog. Okay. Okay. Social and categories. We're talking about social media. But if you look at on the screen here, ladies and gentlemen, social media is only one part of digital marketing. There are a lot of things that you need to look at besides you know, social media. You got to look at Google. You got to look at search engine optimization. You can look at content strategy, your online branding, and so forth, right? So there's a lot of things to learn here. It's just not about social media. Social media is only one part of it, right? A very small part in the whole ecosystem. So I would encourage you actually to read this, because this is like super free. You don't even have to pay a single dime to go in, right? So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to copy this link here, and then I'm just going to actually you know, put in the hyperlink here, so that later on when I share this slides with you, this Google Slides with you, all you need to do is just click here, and you will be directed to this blog itself, which you can learn a lot of stuff here for free. All right, free stuff is good, right? Yeah, but sometimes you know, free stuff you need to find, you know, valuable good stuff. Yeah, thanks Wahan, all right, for the thumbs up. Okay, so so the other one is here, which is getting more technical in terms of learning, which is basically my own publication. So I do publication. This is my company, Navigator Business Academy, and I do a lot of publications. Like for example, if you look at this here, right, social media marketing strategy guides. So I do have guides that helps you, and this is very advanced, right? So I wouldn't suggest that you actually go to my website yet first. what you need to do is to actually go for Udemy, go to Fiverr first. Then once you have done that, right, then you go to read the blogs here, and then after you've done these 3 steps, come and visit my website, which basically I have you know, guides that is upon request, meaning that if you were to click here, right? Say for example, if you are interested to get a preview of this copy of this guide, you got to contact me, right, by clicking here. Yeah, so Navigator Asia is my name and company, so you could put in and fill up here and then send it to me, and I will send you a copy of the guide. Yeah, and so that basically sums up the question number 1. How do you keep up with you know, social media? Number 1 is that I've given you several tips from Facebook page, which you need to basically you know, go beyond just posting organically, but you need to actually advertise and boost it. So $5 a day, all right? So for your campaign, do 10 days and pull your money together, sacrifice your bubble tea, all right? Yeah, to do that. And then the other one is self-learning. So you can do even group learning, right? Yeah, you can do group learning. So what you can do is that by universities, your course mates that you attend in the same universities, each of you can actually subscribe to Fiverr, like the one that I show you. Social media content strategy is very important, right? This one here, yeah, this module is very important, because the hardest part about social media is what to say, right? Advertising is super easy. Just click the blue button, very easy, right? Just click the blue button, this one here, just click boost post, right? So when you click on boost post itself, the audience that you want to reach is not just any generic audiences, it's people who like your page and their friends. So select this, people who like your page and their friends, right? So because my events is actually more based in Kuala Lumpur, and I'm hoping that you know, when I mean, in fact, the government is allowed for you know, for physical events. So during this period of time, I'm actually promoting people at Kuala Lumpur itself only, because what I want eventually for them to come to my physical event, right? So when you do Facebook advertising to promote your page, for this particular post, for example, ladies and gentlemen, how come this? Okay, so when you are doing this post, for example, what it does is that, you know, you need to select people who like your page, right, and their friends. This is something that you need to do. Don't ever click on people you choose through targeting, right? Because the main key principles in social media marketing is the main principle in digital marketing is what I call first interaction. You don't want to target people who doesn't know you. You want to target people who have came to your website, people who have visited who liked your Facebook page, who have liked your post. That means they have interacted with you. So because you don't go to a stranger, right? Any random stranger and say, hi, do you know that wasting food is bad for the world and bad for you? You don't do that, right? Yeah, it's only people who come to your site. All right, for example, you have a website, a web page that talks about Clean Our Plate project. So for a website, what you can do is that you can actually put in what you call okay, this I just want to show you very quickly. Yeah, this is my website, and one of the things that we do is that on first interaction is that what we want to do is that we want to install a Facebook pixel. Right, everybody, can you say together with me? Right, Facebook pixel. Say together with me. 1, 2, 3. Facebook pixel. All right. Yeah. So Facebook pixel is a code that you put into your website, right? That that will help Facebook to have data about people who comes to your website. so that you can retarget them. So people who comes to your particular web page, you can retarget them. Because if the visitor who have come to your website and landed on this page where you talk about clean our plate web page, I'm not talking about the home page of the website. I'm talking about the specific landing page, the web page that talks about your project. So if they would to actually land on that page, which is clean our plate website or web page, you can actually retarget them, right? Retarget them. Yeah, Brian has just sent me a note here, right? Yeah, so here. Okay, so over here. Yeah, so anyone, okay, so right now, if I check in here, wonderful, you have a Facebook pixel, sorry. Yeah, so all of you know about Facebook pixel. So give yourself a thumbs up, pat yourself on the back, here. All right, wonderful. So we use Facebook pixel, right, to basically, retarget people who comes to our website in the social media environment, all right? So the first thing what you can do is that, okay, so you can do two ways. One is that you can start off by looking at this here first, because your website may not have a lot of people, right, coming into your website. Yeah, so so you need to know what is your Google Analytics, which I think you should have, your Google Analytics. Yeah, so yeah, so you got two accounts, right, on this page here itself. Yeah, so you need to look at your Google Analytics. If your website visit is not high, your first step is that you need to build your online community in Facebook by using this way first. People who like your page and their friends, right? That's how you build your online community. But after a while, you have a lot of you have hundreds, thousands of people who comes to your site on a monthly basis. On that page itself, this is where you can do custom audience targeting, right? So Facebook custom audience targeting it looks like this. Okay, just let me log in again. Facebook. You must have a business manager account in order to do custom audience targeting, because otherwise there will be limitations. So I look at Ad Manager, Facebook Ad Manager, create an account, for example, right? So take for example, this is about driving brand awareness of the course that we have. And in digital marketing, like for example, Facebook will always ask you what is your marketing objective, right? Because at the end of the day, we always work on what I call a funnel marketing, which basically looks like this. Just give me a minute. A funnel marketing, right? Yeah. So looks exactly like this. Okay. So if you look at here, this is the kind of like funnel, or in Malay, Bahasa Malaysia, it's called corong marketing. Yeah. And as I mentioned just now earlier on, content plays a very important role in our marketing, especially in social media. So we always look at in terms of first, attracting strangers and creating awareness amongst the strangers, who then will visit either our website or our web pages, or our social media postings. And this is when they understand, or why we solve this problem and how we solve this problem. Okay, sorry about this. Okay, okay. So once they understand why, oh dear, my apologies, my mouse is playing cranky on me right now. Okay, just yeah, just let me do this. Okay, so if you look at this here, once somebody visit your post or go to your particular website and understand why this is so important to them, why are you actually solving this this problem here, and how you're actually solving it, and what are you solving. This is where they may not buy your product, but they may buy into your cost, right? So you can look at this. This is basically what I call funnel marketing, from awareness to consideration, that each level has a call to action. At the end of the day, you don't even want, not only that you want them to understand the cost that you're actually promoting, but you want to impress them and to make them feel enthusiastic, and eventually they become a strong advocate for you, right? So this is a very key thing that we need to know when we do digital marketing. And if going back to Facebook marketing, if you look at this, it's the very same steps that when we approach Facebook advertising in social media. We need to create a brand awareness in terms of why are we promoting clean our plate projects, why is it important, and how are we doing this, what are kind of activities that we are doing to minimize food wastage, and then from that asking them to actually support, right, as an individual or as a company, as a corporate. And this is where you're looking in terms of consideration, in terms of educating people, our costs, telling them why and how, and this is what they can do to participate in the cause that you are promoting. This is where I talk about conversion. So anyway, very quickly, I wanted to show you the Facebook custom audience targeting. So you need to use a Facebook Business Manager, and of which then if you look at this, creating new here, creating new here, this is where you create custom audience targeting, right? So creating custom audience targeting means that you reach people who already interacted with your business, right? And after you've done this, you can move on to the next stage. After you've exhausted this, that means you have reached everyone who has interacted with you. Then you move on to the next stage, where you can scale up to look at lookalike audience, which reach new people on Facebook who are familiar to your most valuable audiences. Everyone on the same page here? Am I going too fast? If I'm going too fast, you raise your hand. Okay, all right. If I'm going on a good pace, okay. Because I'm only on question number 1. Okay, yeah. So okay, so this is where you need to create your custom audience targeting, and then you select this, and this, remember, you see here, custom audience is based on websites, and people in your database. It can also be an offline activities that you do, because everything right now is that Facebook tracks the mobile app, all right? Because sometimes you do check-in, right, to a particular premise. So Facebook actually use this data to actually help you to target those people who have came to the event. So it could be like volunteers, right, from the public, right? So you have a list of their names, volunteers of them, and the things that if they have been volunteering before, so in your following projects, you may want to invite them again. And how you can target them is that you can target them through Facebook ads too, right? Yeah, so that's the main powerful part about this. And of course, video, as I mentioned, is a very key important thing that you need to do as a content marketing strategy. Okay, everyone okay on this point here? Okay, let's move on quickly on the next question here. Okay, so how can we create content that can connect with people, can connect with audience, so that we can make the move to complete our call to action? I think I've answered this through this graph here. Yeah. So these are all the various call to action, from awareness to consideration to buying or subscribing to your course. And the other one is that where they are fully impressed because they have a very good experience with the course that you, or the projects that you are involving in. And this is where they feel very, very satisfied and enthusiastic, that they will even viral their, say for example, they are a volunteer, right, in your project, and their experience is so good, right? They really feel that we should not waste food. whatever activities they do, and they will in turn will post this, right? I am doing this project, right? And they will be telling their friends, right? So after they get a good experience, and they will be advocating this, and when you get a lot of your volunteers start posting in their social media feed, give yourself a pat. Job well done. That is the call to action that we want to reach at the end of the day, right? Not just awareness. So if you look at this, actually, it's very challenging. It takes a lot of hard work to do this. And the thing is that it's very hard to do this individually. So therefore, AIESEC actually would have grouped you all together, right? Not just from one universities, but from multiple universities on the same project. And therefore, to be successful in your digital marketing, you need to collaborate. Can everybody say collaborate? You need to work together. You need not only to put your energy, your mind, but your heart. Right? All of us must have the same vision, right? And then sacrifice your bubble tea. Each of you chip in 5 ringgit, right? Yeah, and do a Facebook advertising campaign, right? With video advertising. So how do you actually, create content? As I mentioned just now, create Facebook Live. Do Facebook Live, all right? So I'm going to give you some examples that I've done on Facebook Live. So it's over here. So in my academy, I do a lot of cancel ad. Sorry, just let me do this. Okay, so okay, newsfeed, Navigate Business Academy. Okay, sorry, over here. So I front myself. Okay, this morning I just did a mentorship program with Monash University. And I show my personality here, right? So even though I'm not a health advocate, but I say this, right? At 48 years old, I'm 48. I say I need to remain physically fit for God, my family, my client, my mentees. So post MCO challenge 45, beat per minute, my heartbeat per minute before 31st August, right? So I get to do this. And the things that I have, a few influencers, right, who actually click on here, whereby if you look at Donovan, for example, he will probably have like 20 other friends who are mutual, and few thousand friends, and likewise with the other people. So it gets viral, right, as they like. This is how you beat the what you beat the algorithm, all right, Facebook, where friends of friends will see it, right? Yeah. So things like videos like this, just let me scroll down very quickly. Symmetry voice. Okay. Yeah, this one here, right? So so I do videos like this. I just woke up in the morning, one morning, and decided to share my learning experience on Google Meet and Google Slides. All right. Good morning. Good Saturday. Hi, my name is David Ho here, and I'm from Navigator Digital Academy. And today, this is a test session in terms of using a combination of Google Meet and Google Slides. And this is how we can actually use integrately with together with using your iPad, Apple Pencil, and this will make a very good experience with your participants. I will basically key in the same ID, MR01. Yep. So present on MR01 joined. As you can see on the screen on the Zoom meeting, I'm just going to present to you basically the market research, and I can just for example draw on this. Yeah, so it's pretty cool, and I can give you a smiley face here. Yeah, And then what I do is that I can actually move on to the next presentation, and you can see, would you like to save yourself attending your Zoom session? Okay, so I'm not going to bore you with this, but you can see that you know, there's quite a number of interactions in here that you know, could be potentially be my clients over here. So which I have data about this, right? So see, the power is that I just woke up on Saturday morning, right? And I have a confession. I didn't even brush my teeth yet. I didn't brush my teeth yet, and I just recorded sessions through Zoom, right? Yeah, through Zoom, using Google Meet, for example. So you see how easy it can be done, right? If you believe in what you do, you can do it, and you will do it because I mean, I really don't care how I look like, right? Yeah, as long as I want to bring forth the message to people, right? And I think it's very key. When I find that people engage with my posts, that's something that I can take on to the next step, which is the call for action, right? So I can actually reach out to them and says that, hey, thanks for looking at my videos. If you have any questions that you want to ask me, I'm happy to do a session with you and take them further on, right? As they become more engaged with you, the more they believe in the cause, and the more they believe in the cause, then they will support you, right? That's how it works. Because one of the things that for NGOs is you know, two things. One is you know, getting volunteers. The other one is getting funding, right? Which I will share with you later on. All right. Okay. I'm not going to bore you so much on the second questions. I think some of you are tired, right? Yeah. But so far so good. I just want to do a room check. So far so good. Is everybody okay? If you're okay, give me a thumbs up in the chat room. If you're okay. Yeah, thanks. Okay. All right. Moving along. Let me just look at this here. Okay, so this is how you create content that most people use this chart. Tell people why are you solving this problem, how are you solving it, and what are you solving it, and then design a good experience for them. I know it's pretty hard right now with you know, with the MCO, but right now you can actually physically go down, right? As long as you wear a mask. So please, people, please do wear a mask. 1st August, don't wear, get fined 1,000 ringgit. Right? So please wear a mask. So you can go. So we have passed the MCO stage already. Now it's RMCO, right? You can go physical, right? Just be safe. Okay. So that's the second question here. So this is the one that I was meaning to show you, which is this one here. So marketing management, how can we handle different marketing channels in a more organized way and more effective way, right? So I've given you 2 reference points. I'm not going to elaborate so much. The first reference point is this video here. So when you get this Google slide, which I will share through the WhatsApp group, right? You can click on this video here and then and listen to it.
As the VP of marketing, I had it all figured out. I could execute on any marketing plan sales handed to me.
Okay, so coming back to this question here, how can we handle different marketing channels in a more organized way and more effective way? I think the key answer to this is that you must have a strategy. What is a strategy? Strategy is how do we achieve our goals. So first of all, you got to ask yourself, what is the goal of this project? What is the goal of this project? And then strategy, obviously one of the strategy is to use social media. Why? Because there are 22 million people in social media, Malaysians in social media. Yeah. And then what are some of the tactics? Then you need to do Facebook ads, you need to do Facebook Live, those will be tactics. So a tactic comes from a strategy, and a strategy comes from a objective. Right? And the objective is this, as I mentioned just now. The objective is, my objective is to create awareness. So we tell them, our strategy is, we tell them why are we solving this. So why is a very powerful thing. Yeah? When I ask you to do something, ladies and gentlemen, I need to tell you why. First. Because why is the vision, right? Why is the reason of doing things? Then from why, then I'll share with you how. So this is where you move them to consideration. So the next step is buying what we're solving and then designing a good experience so that they can advocate. So in order to do marketing management, you need tools also like Hootspot, all right? So this is another reference point, which is basically another resource, the ultimate guide to marketing strategies and how to improve your digital presence. So ladies and gentlemen, click on here and you will have a very comprehensive guide for free. Okay, yeah. So in the internet, there's a lot of golden nuggets that you can get for free. But the only thing is that you must know how to search for them. So I'm here to help you to search for them, right, at first. But later on, you need to learn how to search for golden nuggets over the internet. Yeah, there are a lot of free stuff here. So again, this is you just click on this slide in the Google slide, and you will be directed to to this resource, which is the ultimate guide to marketing strategies. And under here, get it now, your template. This is something that I already downloaded. You can actually download it, but just to show you a preview of how it looks like. It looks like this. So it's in a Word document. So for you to manage your strategy, how do you do your marketing management? You need to have a strategy paper. So the strategy paper looks like this, which I will be giving you. If you were to click here on this slide here, you will be able to download this free marketing templates by Hotspot, right? That looks like this. So table of content, first, what is your business summary? What is the mission statement is very important. What are the business initiative, who your target market is, what is your market strategies from a product, pricing, promotions, people, process, physical evidence, what is the budget that you have. So you may start off with 50 ringgit budget. That's okay, right? Yeah, but make sure that you know what are you trying to achieve, right? That's very important. And Facebook actually helps you to put in the what do you call the objective in place, and then you select your marketing channels, right? So they have examples all here, which I think some of you who are in business school would be able to be exposed to how to write a business strategy paper. All right, yeah. So this is an example here. So I encourage you all to click on this slide here. Click on here, and then I've already put this into my Google Drive, which you can then just click at the top right button here to download this template into your hard drive. Okay, sit at the bottom here. Are we okay here, everyone? Right? So far you, I mean, I've been giving you a lot of goodies, right? Yeah. Okay. So thanks. Moving along, the next one, question number 4. We have one key activities in our volunteering projects, which is a school workshop, but it's very hard to get audience for a virtual workshop, even with the help of school teachers. And mostly our marketing materials is not working strong enough to attract students. Any advice on this this issue? To be very honest, this is a very challenging, right? It's a very challenging period right now. Let me explain to you right now. I think last week my kids have gone back to school, and the younger one has been like doing 1 week on online and the second week on physical class, right? So, and it's really hard for the teachers to get the attention. Teachers, I'm talking about teachers, very hard to get them to pay attention in class, right? So the point is that what more are you? Right? Yeah, it's very hard. Today, I think one of the key areas, I think that you can overcome this, but it requires a lot more resources and more sophistication, because you must understand the school-going children today, nowadays, they are exposed to the internet. They're exposed to online gaming. They're exposed to YouTube, YouTubers, right? Who is much more, sorry to say this, more interesting than you, lah. Right? Yeah. So if you become a spokesperson in this case for amongst school-going children, I'm saying that you have zero chance to get their attention, right? So, but I'd like to point you to one area, which is what I call gamification, gaming, right? So let me just go through the following slides. So this one is basically a public service announcement. It's actually in the UK, the transportation hub, right? No, sorry, in Australia, right? So it says here, dumb ways to die, all right? So the whole thing here is that this is a public service announcement that actually, is the world's most shared public service announcement, right? And the public service announcement was launched by Metro Train Melbourne to promote rail safety. Apparently, I don't know, there's a lot of kids, right, who takes those trains. Sometimes they don't keep themselves safe in the train station, right? There are a lot of freak accidents, kids running over by train. So the things that they want to launch this education portal. And it's very interesting. If you look at this, I'll just click here, that will straight away go to this website. You can see here there are songs, games, right? So let me click on the first page here. So they have the avatars like this: dumb way to die, safety ways, champions of everything. They have games that you can download on the mobile app, right? If you click on here, then you can download in the cross-platform. So there are many games. So these are the games that I'm talking about. You can play on your phones, mobile games. You can play, I think, here in an Apple TV too, right? Yeah. So just to share with you very quickly in terms of their social media strategy. Where are you? Public announcements. Okay, yeah, here. So I'd just like to draw attention to here. So their digital marketing strategies have basically utilizing the YouTube platform, and it's just amazing. They have like more than 300 over million views to date. They have the downloads on their mobile games, 340 games, 340 million downloads, 1 million downloads per week. And it's really interesting, right? So if I were to just go into their YouTube, right? So just let me just quickly go here. Where is their YouTube channel?
Okay, just on the button, sir. On the right.
Yeah. It's on the button, right? Yeah, okay. So they don't have a button here. Over here on the right, sorry. Pardon me, 48-year-old man, very hard to see around.
Set fire to your hair, poke a stick at a grizzly.
So this is the game that they have. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to attract school children today, even secondary students, it's through games. Yeah, they are not just to look at you. They want to be involved, and if you look at having a YouTube channel, it's going to be good, right? So it's going to be hard to do a virtual workshop right now in school today because teachers are struggling also. Right, so if you were to come in, it's going to be hard for you to actually do a kind of a virtual workshop with them. So the only way is to actually develop a game, right? So you might want to work with your coursemate from the gaming faculty. I don't know. Do they teach that in university now? All right, develop apps, gaming apps. So you may want to collaborate with them to come up something about food wastage, right? Yeah, and then you might want to create an app for adults, especially for those fitness, calculate your calories, right? Check whether you are obese or not, right? And then the following buttons will be like, for example, what are the ways that you can actually give away your surplus of food, for example, right? So these are basically through the app platforms, through the gaming platforms, and YouTube, right, to promote. Yeah, so that's my reply to this answer here. Okay, so I'm going to touch a little bit about cost marketing. Right now it's 3:53. Okay, so we've got 7 more minutes. So yeah. So cost marketing here is basically, the definition of cost marketing is a cooperative, effort in between, especially here. Yeah. So cost marketing is basically defined as the cooperative effort between a for-profit and a non-profit, which is you, for mutual benefit. So it's a win-win, right? So that gives people the opportunity and knowledge that they need to help. They can volunteer to help. So it's a profit-generating, powerful global brands will have the resource like Nestle, for example, to raise awareness of non-organization profit and also promoting their own product. So it's a win-win situation, right? So like for example, I know Heather was telling me that Nestle is a big sponsor to your projects. So they will give you the before the canned food is expired within 6 months. They will give it to you all, right? Because this is part of an example of cost marketing. But in today's world, it's going to be very hard because organizations also need to make sure that every product they produce, they sell. So they can't really, because nowadays to ask donation from corporate is going to be very difficult, but you can still try, right? So, and this is where I want to introduce you the other way, which is another way, which is called crowdfunding, right? Yeah. So this is where I want to share with you what is crowdfunding about. So in Asia, the things that there are now many ways that you can do crowdfunding, and the things that crowdfunding is basically this one here, right? So crowdfunding in Malaysia. So crowdfunding in Malaysia is a platform that basically help non-profit organizations to get funding from individuals. That's the definition. So what you're actually giving people is that instead of going around bringing a white box, right, like how the Red Crescents and they do, right, and ask for, sir, would you buy a sticker for me, donate, right? So instead of going physically one-to-one to places, to individuals, you're doing this online. Right? So just imagine everything is done online. So there are companies, there are organizations, non-profit organizations like this who are basically, like for example, Jamie Jerkins, she started her own journey as a foster mom with children with disability, right? And cause that she's doing it is that she's looking at a better home for Danny, right? Danny. So she managed to raise $36,000, right, out of the target that she is looking at 40,000, right? And the thing is that this is the cost that she's looking at, and she used like GoFundMe, for example, right? So this is one of the platforms. And things that if you look at what again, going back to a crowdfunding definition, crowdfunding is a coin term meaning merging the word of crowd and funding. And it's a platform where through connection of the internet allows an individual or a group of them to ask for assistance. So you are the group of them, right? You are the group of them. So you're asking for assistance, right? And contribution in the form of funds from other individuals who are willing to help, even though they may not have the time, but they have the money. So remember earlier on I mentioned it says, all you need is sacrifice your bubble tea, right? For this good cause. So in turn, you can also communicate to them. It says, hey, stop drinking bubble tea. I think people like Tea Life, what else, Zing Fu Tang and all this won't like you lah. But the thing is that this is a message that you got to tell them, right? Yeah. So all we need is 15 ringgit. You contribute to a very good cause. You help Danny. So you need to personalize, right? A person, right? So or you need to personalize a community, right? Where people don't have food, the poor, the B40s, the B40s. So you need to highlight personality, right? So, but as you do that, be very careful. Make sure you don't show their faces, especially those refugees, those illegal immigrants, right? Because they need food, right? But so make sure when you like do your social media posting, make sure you blur their face before you publicize. Otherwise, you get them in trouble because the immigration will go after them, right? So instead of helping them, you put them in trouble, right? Yeah. So this is part of crowdfunding, right? So and there are many crowdfundings in Malaysia that you can actually use, platforms in Malaysia, right? So do go to this slide here, slide here, and this slide number 13, right? And then do a present, and then just click on here. Then you should be able to go to this web page that talks about what is crowdfundings and some of the international ones. And these are Malaysia, right? So like MyStar. So if you are interested in MyStar, for example, I know the founder, right? I know the founder, and I can link you guys to them. All right, I can link you guys to them. All right, so so do check out these platforms and how you can actually get funds from individuals rather than just from corporate. So continue to talk to corporation. I'm just saying that it's harder and harder nowadays, corporation, right? So don't limit yourself to just corporation, but also go with individuals through crowdfunding platform. Okay, right? Okay, moving along. How to create content with partners and on LinkedIn, in LinkedIn itself. I've given you this resource. I won't elaborate on that. There's 10 powerful linking tips for non-profit, right? So click on this one here, and then the person who actually asked this question, which is this question here, you can just click on here and you'll be able to find your answers here because it's very elaborate. So this is a very good resource for you to read through. And if you do have any questions regarding LinkedIn, right, how to create content for LinkedIn, do reach out to me again. All right, okay. But because of time, and now it's already 4:01. All right, I'm taking 1 minute of your time already, extra. So just click on here, and you should be able to understand and be guided in terms of how to create good content for LinkedIn. So any tips for content for email marketing to partners so that open rate is high? Again, I've given you a resource here. Click on this resource here, and we're able to tell you how to have a high open rate. But in order to have a high open rate in email, ladies and gentlemen, or the person who asked this question, all right, there's a lot of other things that you need to do before, all right, before you can actually have a high open rate. And one of the tools that helps me to have a good open rate in emails that I send to people, whether it's a newsletter or not, is that I use this tool, this email marketing automated tool called MailChimp, right? And this tool is free to use, up to 2,000 database, 2,000 email addresses. It's free to use, up to 2,000. So after 2,000, you got more in your database, you got to pay, right? But it's not very expensive. So I encourage all of you who wants to use email marketing as a platform. And email marketing is very good to reach your existing volunteers. It's not to reach strangers, because if you send an email to strangers, your mail will get into a spam folder because they have not given you permission to send them stuff, even though emails are easy, right? Yeah, I mean, easy to send, right? So be very careful, right? So the way we use email marketing when you want to send newsletter, for example, is to existing volunteers. So you want to call them back, right? Yeah. So look into this, and MailChimp itself has a very wonderful resources on marketing tips, how to do email marketing, how to do digital marketing. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, what I want to do right now is that I'm actually going to put this short code to this file. I'm going to copy this bit.ly link, and I'm going to put it in the chat room, right? Yeah, and I'm just going to actually send it to everyone. So what I want you to do is to click on here at the chat room, this link, this bit.ly link, and you will have access to all the slides that I've just presented, right? Which is this. And remember, all these slides individually, when you look at the icon here, there's a hyperlink to the resource that I've shared with you. Okay? So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to conclude today's afternoon session. Sorry for being going over time for 3 minutes. And so if you have any more questions, do reach out to me. Either you put it on the WhatsApp group or you can send me a personal message. And then I can arrange for a one-to-one session with you. Okay? Are we good here? So with that, I pass this time back. Thank you so much. I pass this time back to Aleph.